Palma. Oh,
man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
Janelle Fuentes.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-point.
My goodness! Isang jumper by Robin Celis.
Napaliero has time.
Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness!
Patuloy po ang bakbakan dito po sa bayan ng Montalban. Nandito po tayo sa loob ng Inares Center here in the province of Rizal. Our fourth time here as Rizal will try to defend their home floor. But first, the second game of our Wednesday triple header features these two squads. Jeff Santos scored in double figures in their big wins over Bulacan and Marikina as they try to add on to their win total going up against Christian Rivera and the rest of Pasig City trying to end their 5-game losing skid. It's the One Bataan Risers taking on Pasig City. Ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Ken Pangilinan alongside Javi Palanya, and at courtside we have Miss Lyra Punsalan. And Javi, Bataan has certainly hit their stride, especially in their past few games. Pero judging from the last game of Pasig City, hindi magiging madali yung laban nila kontra dito sa Pasig.
Well, Pasig City, you expect this team to really come out fighting every game that they play in this season. Although they may not have the most talented and most loaded lineup this year, pero itong mga team na nilalabas ni Boss Buddy Encarnado, you always expect them to compete each and every time. But Bataan, you mentioned, already has been able to establish a rhythm. So this is going to be a tough matchup for Pasig City coming in. But I expect this to be a close one, especially by the way Pasig City was able to compete with Binyan in their last game, only losing by 7 points.
And of course, you could watch us live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 6 p.m. And tungo na tayo sa side ng One Bataan Risers in their last game. They had this huge win kontra dito sa Marikina Shoe Masters. And it came off the heels of that tough loss against the Abra Weavers, a 34-point win kontra dito sa Marikina.
They came out of the gates really strong, itong Bataan Risers. Lots of them were really very instrumental in that nice start that they had. Chris Javier was the one who started it all, one of the guys who really led the charge for Bataan in that game. Tapos pagpasok ni Jamil Gabaon, siya naman ang nag-influence sa magandang laro nitong Bataan Risers, who shot 51.3% from the field and were just really smoking from the outside. 50 out of 30. It's been a while since Bataan has been able to shoot that well from the great beyond. In that game, they hope to carry that nice shooting that they've had against a Pasig City team who's been very pesky defending from the perimeter this season.
And you mentioned Jamil Gabawan, kumbaga masasabi nating Swiss Army knife nitong Bataan, and chipped in the numbers in points, rebounds, and assists, doing almost everything in this game for the One Bataan Risers against Marikina.
I think he's the X factor para sa Bataan Risers this season. Really being able to do it all, as you've mentioned, scoring, passing, whatever is needed para dito sa Bataan, rebounding, dishing off, playing defense, being that anchor para sa Bataan Risers. Maaasahan mo talaga si Jamil Gabaon. He is a proud son of this province and he expects to compete every time para dito sa kanyang hometown, every single game para talagang itayo yung bandera ng Bataan.
From Balanga, Bataan, ito si Jamil Gabawan, and they will take on itong Pasig City na alam naman natin nahihirapan in their last few games. They open up the season 2-0, but they have dropped their last 5 games, including this one against Binyan. Pero nakita natin, despite falling down by as many as 15 points, they were able to catch up. And at one point in the fourth quarter, this was down to a 3-point ball game before Binyan was able to get the stops in the end game.
Pero yun nga yung naging problema, Ken, yung early lead na nakuha ng Binyan, I think that was crucial for them. Kasi if they kept this close the entire game, talagang Pasig City, baka makasilat pa sila sa dulo. And they had a chance in that fourth quarter, although the problem for Pasig City is they weren't able to limit Binyan to a significant amount in which they could take back the lead in that game. In fact, they never got the lead in that entire match, and they shot really low from the field but still managed to keep it close. But they can't afford a bad start in this game. You saw that against Binyan. If they fall down early in this game, it's gonna be hard for them to come back.
And Pasig played that game without Robbie Manalang, but he is back for their team. But one guy who really stepped up for Pasig City in that game against Binyan was Mark Montuano, who mostly came off the bench, but here chipping in the numbers, providing some life para dito sa Pasig kontra sa laban nila against Binyan.
Robbie Manalang was a big part of their offense, and that's really one guy who has delivered the points para sa Pasig City. Mark Montuano, we already know that he can be that guy offensively para sa Pasig City. We've seen that in his previous stints with Bacoor City in the past, but in this game, he was remarkable, especially from the three-point line, although he could do better overall from the field. 6 out of 17, not really a very efficient percentage. But if you couple that with the production of Robbie Manalang coming back into this game, then Pasig City might have a good chance against this Bataan team that's really riding high on their confidence.
It's a battle of teams in the North Division. One Bataan Risers taking on Pasig City. Let's turn you over to Richard Campos as he introduces the starting lineups.
Introduce the starting players first for One Bataan Risers, Kamaya Coast. Playing center number 27, Chris Javier. At forward number 23, Rinwil Yambing. Also at forward number 14, Alex Ramos. At guard number 9, Jeb Santos. Point guard number 1, Robbie Darang. One Bataan Risers is led by Guti Ilagan with Ogie Gumantay, Arvin Ginto, Paul de la Cruz, Rene Baina, Louis Cortina, Marvin Molines, Ervin Lozada, Frederick Francisco, Jonas Giao, and Tinalupian Bataan re-elected Councilor El Granada, Gary David. Assistant Team Manager Shai Evangelista. The Team Managers Ariel Joaquin and Attorney Gary Palmero. The Team Owner Luis Valenzuela. Starting for the Pasig City. Coming in at center number 6, Lester Reyes. Point guard number 7, Rob Manalang. At forward number 10, Mark Montuano. Two guard number 25, Christian Rivera. Small forward number 88, the Acid Rain, Rocky Asidre. The head coach is Aldrin Morante. His assistants are J.R. Villanueva, Lance Ingo, and Richard Rosales. The team owner is Mr. Buddy Encarnado. Referees for this ball game are crew chief Edmar Abis with Maynard Centeno and Arlon Crebillo. Alternate referee EJ Carase.
Starting 5 brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet. Laban ng Bataan kontra Pasig for the Risers. The backcourt of Robbie Darang and Jeff Santos. Up front, Chris Javier, Win William Bing, and Alex Ramos. For Pasig City, Christian Rivera, the comebacking Robbie Manalang with Lester Reyes, Mark Montuano, and Rocky Asidre. So no Chito Jaime, the starting lineup para dito sa Pasig, while Bataan, they have won 4 of their last 5 games. Remember, they started this season 1-5. Win-loss record nila yan. But they have certainly picked it up in their last games. And they try to catch up the top teams in the North Division. But the tip going to the side of the guys in blue, itong Pasig City.
If you're just gonna play a game of what if no para sa Pasig City, it would have been nice to really have Robbie Manalang in that game against Binyan. You know, for one, you saw already how you were able to compete. You only lost by 7 points at one point. Even had the chance to take it away in the 4th quarter. But if only you had Robbie Manalang in that game, a guy who could deliver for you in those kinds of situations. But more importantly, the factor that he was playing against his former head coach, I think that's one thing we've proven here, especially in this league, that has given a lot more motivation for players to really play better.
How about this guy, Jeff Santos, has really found a stroke in the last few games para dito sa Bataan. Hits a free to open up the scoring here for the Risers.
I think he's been a big factor in Bataan winning the 4 of their last 5 games, save for that game against the Abra Weavers, which they lost. Santos has been a constant contributor para dito sa koponan ng Bataan.
Turnover against Pasig as they're trying to avoid another slow start, much like the one they had against Binyan, as we see that long 2-point shot hit by Chris Javier.
Well, if Pasig is trying to avoid a bad start, Bataan is trying to continue their string of good starts to games.
Pero ito isa sa mga na-discover ng Pasig, no? Playing Christian Rivera at that point guard spot, like this one, finding Lester Reyes right on cue for the basket, and an N1 opportunity for Reyes.
That really gives a lot of opportunity for Robbie Manalang to be at that shooting guard position, of which I think he is more naturally adept at. That's a nice pass coming from Christian Rivera.
This is the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Because with Rivera starting at the point guard spot, you can now put Asidre and Manalang at the wings. Although you will be smaller defensively, at least in terms of firepower, may dalawa ka mapapasahan sa parehong gilid.
But interestingly, it's Robbie Manalang guarding Jeff Santos and Rivera trying to stop Robbie Darang. Although you could say din kasi Christian Rivera could also play defense, trying to stop tong lead guard ng Bataan, as we see Coach Ogie Gumatay.
I think he can play multiple positions and guard multiple positions as well. Coach Ogie Gumatay is coaching against the former squad which he used to coach at.
Yeah.
He was Coach Boyet's lead assistant when he was still with Pasig City.
And they had success together, those two guys, piloting Pasig City to back-to-back playoff appearances. Season 4 and 5. Si Rivera putting his imprint on the defensive side of the floor, getting the steal. Again, nahahanap na naman si Lester Reyes, pero napalakas lang yung kanyang short stab doon. Robbie Darang lobs it up to Alex Ramos. That was broken up by Christian Rivera.
I'm loving the smarts of Christian Rivera. His instincts, I think, on both sides of the floor have really helped Pasig City justify his playing time so far this season. Big reason why he's constantly been in the starting lineup as Pasig's lead point guard.
At Bataan with an early 4-point lead, 7-3. More than 3 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. Mark Pontuano, walang handoff. Susugurin yung depensa, pinilit yung tira but gets the bounce.
Gets 2 defenders there. I thought Montuano was better off trying to dish off to the left side. I thought there was an open shooter, but still managed to get the 2 points.
Yambing had that alley-oop slam in their last game against Marikina. Now fires a free. Medyo matulis lang yung tira niya doon.
I think that's one thing that he has to find in this season. It's his outside shooting, his stroke from three-point country. A part of his game that we've seen in the past when he was with San Juan. Pero dito sa kanyang stint sa Bataan, hindi pa masyado nakikita.
Fast break the game brought to you by Extreme X Pop. Personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke. Rivera draws a foul. So Chris Javier there. Jacob Galicia nasa loob na rin, as well as Warlo Batak. Early subs coming in for Pasig City. Christian Rivera, his first season here in the MPBL. Already 32 years old. And he's the type of guy na kung ano yung kailangan ng team, yun yung pupunan niya.
I think he's been very unselfish, always sacrificing something that's going to be very beneficial to him for the betterment of the team. So he really fits the point guard spot that he's playing para sa Pasig City ngayon.
Look at that rebound by Warlo Batak.
He had 10 of those against Marikina, and almost all of those came from the offensive glass.
Vera gets the rebound. Warlo Batak. Montuano takes the free. Left it short. Nakuha na naman ni Rivera yung rebound para dito sa Pasig. Tried to locate Montuano but that was broken up by Bataan. Forward pass Darang. Jeff Santos. That one rolls out. Yambing able to bank it in off the putback.
Kung sa talunan, talagang magandang laban yan. Rinwil Yambing laban kay Warlo Batak, but Yambing just had a better position on the flight of the basketball, snatching it from Warlo on that rebound play.
Rivera on the right side. Lalabas si Robbie Manalang na libre sa tres. Off to the left. That was a good look though for Robbie. Past the halfway point of the first period. Javier. Binabantayan ni Jacob Galicia. Binigay muna kay Jeff Santos. Navigating through that pick. Floater by Javier. No. Fight for the rebound. It ends up with Robbie Manalang. Warlo Batak, look out. Drives. Hard foul given up by Chris Javier.
Chris Javier will certainly not give up any easy baskets. Whoever it is driving towards the basket, he will make sure that the defense holds firm. I think that's just a regular foul, but our referee is trying to look at it because of the impact of landing nito ni Warlo Batak. Could have been hit hard dun sa base ng ating basket. Buti na lang na hindi natamaan yung kanyang ulo.
Pero lumapit yung ating game official kay Richard Tampos. Pakinggan natin.
Sportsmanlike foul on number 27, Chris Javier, for excessive hard contact.
Yep, sportsmanlike foul for excessive hard contact.
But if I'm Bataan, I would not question the motive by Chris Javier. I'm sure he was just trying to prevent a three-point play opportunity. It was just really the impact of the hit that caused our referees to call the unsportsmanlike foul. Of course, they're just protecting our players on the floor, making sure that they're safe at any given moment. Ayaw nilang mangyari na magkaroon pa ng mga malalang tama itong ating mga players, especially with those inadvertent hits.
Yep, just in accordance to our new FIBA rules, may different criteria na in determining whether that's an unsportsmanlike foul or not. That time, excessive hard contact nga. Definitely not an intent to hurt. As you saw, Yambing spike that ball out of bounds.
One of the few guys in this league who can really get up there and block your jump shot.
Shot clock winding down. Kilatan has to put one up. Rebound ends up with Rinwil Yambing. Sila nagbabantayan dito ni Warlo Batak. Jamil Gabawan is in for Bataan. Again, another great pass to Robbie Darang for the layup.
I've just been so impressed every time he makes that kind of play. He just might be the league leader this season in most backdoor passes made.
Crossover, Warlo Batak lays it up and in, plus a foul. How about that from Warlo Batak?
Going up against Warlo Batak in this game should motivate Rinwil Yambing to also be aggressive offensively on his side of the floor. You see that quick move that was made by Batak. Didn't really waste a lot of time on that left wing. He right away attacked the middle, seeing that there was an opportunity for him to sky early into that launch pad.
And 6 in the free throw. We are tied 11 all. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Jeff Santos at the post. Kapulong. Kakapasok lang para sa Bataan. Nilabas ni Robbie Darang. Pupukol sa tres. Wala yan. Nakuha ni Jamil Gabawan yung rebound. Nahanap si Santos sa loob. Nilalabas nila muna papunta kay Kapulong. Has the size and heft advantage over Jess Kilatan. But can't convert. Tatakbo ang Pasig dito. The lob, Kilatan. Alley-oop play going to Jacob Galicia.
Applaudable defense and then great decision offensively on the break by Kilatan to lob it on to a streaking Jacob Galicia on the right side.
Abante ng Pasig, 13-11. Naagawan si Kapulong. Pasig, tatakbo dito. Warlo Batak. Almost stolen. That was intercepted by Robbie Darang.
I thought Warlo Batak should have taken it to the rack. Medyo nakatalikod pa yung depensa doon ng Bataan. But see here, nice find by Kilatan.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet. The title sponsored the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Hubert Cani coming off the bench. Pocket pass of Manalang. Oh, great play by Pasig. Galicia to Montuano for the deuce.
Very unselfish there. Galicia could have gone up for a shot of his own, but saw that there was a more wide open option in the cutting Mark Montuano. Missed coverage there for the Bataan Risers, leading to the deuce for Pasig City.
Pasig City trailing by 5 earlier in this quarter, but have picked it up. They're now ahead by 4, 15-11.
The One Bataan Risers are on the roll after that strong win against Marikina Shoemasters that improved their standing to a 5-6 record. Sabi nga ni Coach Ogie, hindi kami pwedeng magpakampante because we're keeping our eyes on the bigger picture because every win gives us direction, pero hindi kami pwedeng magpakampante at magpatalo because ang goal namin ay consistency, one game at a time. Meanwhile, Pasig City is looking to bounce back and reclaim their footing after a tough loss to Binyan, which dropped them to 2-5 standing. Coach Alden Morante remains optimistic though that every setback is a setup for a better comeback. Ginagamit namin ang bawat talo para mas mahasa ang team. Bataan is a tough matchup pero we're coming in ready to fight. It's a clash between a team finding its groove at isang koponan naman na very eager to recover their spark. This one's shaping up to be a test of grit and growth. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. Napakahalaga nung larong ito para sa dalawang kupunan na ito dahil nga mamaya maglalaro din yung Val City, nakadikit nila in the team standings as we see Kilatan continuing to pour it on for Pasig City as they now establish a 6-point lead.
Playing quality minutes so far in this game off the bench. Itong si Jess Kilatan.
You could just sense that Pasig City found something even though they lost that game against Binyan as we see Jacob Galicia who can't convert though on that mid-range jumper.
Maybe it's the fact that they know for themselves na kaya nilang lumaban if they give it their all. They have highly capable players although not the biggest names here in the league. Pero pagdating sa sahig, pare-pareho namang humahawak ng bola na bilog and anything can happen when you're in the game. As long as you give it your all.
Hubert Cani can't turn the corner. Gives it up to Ives Sazon. Steal na naman para dito sa Pasig City. Tatakbo sila dito. Montuano. Short stab.
Oh, I'm surprised he took the jumper.
Yeah. But nonetheless, Bataan trying to counter. Jeff Santos missing and the Risers firing blanks in their last few possessions.
Coach Alden Morante is fuming mad at Mark Montuano.
Yun nga, nagulat tayong lahat. Tinira niya yun from around 10 to 15 feet. As Manalang can't hit the mark there. Hubert Cani slides in, kissing it off the glass and in. Oops! Bagsak si... Is that Kilatan? Yeah. That was off the make by Hubert Cani.
I'm not quite sure what transpired there. It all happened too fast after that basket by Cani.
Oh, nakatingin tayo sa bola and happened underneath. Coach Ogie gumatay. Let's see it here.
Yun. Well, they were both battling for position and on the rebound there, after that basket, there was a hit by Jamil Gabawan on Jess Kilatan. I think there's going to be a call against Gabawan on this one.
And definitely had a size advantage in that rebounding battle. Pero si Kilatan, no? Talagang pinahirapan din. Ito si Jamil. 36.3 seconds remaining.
Maaga pa lang, sinalubong niya na agad ng tama eh.
Number 39, Jamil Gabawan for excessive hard contact.
Ganun din.
Substitutions.
Excessive hard contact. Unsportsmanlike foul against Jamil Gabawan.
He's trying to explain to our referees that he was just trying to box off and ward off Kilatan cleanly. I thought Kilatan also sold it quite well.
Yeah. Kasama na yun. So Kilatan will troop to the line. Actually, he has really stepped up here for Pasig City, playing quality minutes off the bench. Looks like he's playing in front of Keith Pido right now at that point guard spot. Pero sablay yung dalawang free throw.
And I think Keith Pido is on this Pasig City bench right now. He is suited up. So an opportunity here for Kilatan, and he really has been repaying the trust that's been given to him by Coach Aldrin Morante early in this game.
Manalang, stop in his tracks by Ives Sazon, having trouble with the leather. At yun na nga, natuluyan na siya doon. Traveling violation call against Robbie Manalang.
Good pressure defense by Bataan there, forcing Manalang into that travel. He's really trying to use that pivot foot of his to its maximum capacity.
This could be last shot time for Bataan if they could manage the clock here. Not much difference between shot clock and game clock, but Sazon decides to fire. Short. May pagkaaton pang Pasig City. The crossover, Robbie Manalang high off the glass and in. What an escape act by Robbie to cap off quarter number 1.
I think one of the smartest guards that we have here in the league. Ito si Robbie Manalang. Check this one out. Well, these were, I think, the highlights for the first quarter. Chris Javier off to another good start para sa Bataan sa laro na to. And so is Warlo Batak, but this time in this game, he comes off the bench para sa Pasig City. And the bench players for Coach Aldrin Morante have been doing a good job. And they, in fact, have been the most players who have influenced this lead para sa Pasig City.
And at the end of quarter number 1, Pasig with the lead over Bataan, 19-13. This was the last game of Warlo Batak against Pinyan. 10 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. Although, yung shooting niya from the field left a lot to be desired. 3 out of 14. But the talent and potential is there for Warlo Batak to produce para dito sa Pasig.
He generated a lot of extra possessions for Pasig City in that game. 10 rebounds, 5 of them coming on the offensive glass. But this is a guy who came in practically, it was almost garbage time, if you might say, para sa Bataan. That time na pumasok si Dante Baguio, but he still made good use of the time that he got on the floor, still scoring in double figures, and he's picking up from where he left off, knocking down his first attempt of the game.
Doon nagkaamali, Javi. Parang he had 14 points in the fourth quarter, no? And we were tracking whether he could beat the record for most points in a quarter, pero pinagpahinga na siya doon ni Coach Ogie. Meanwhile, the layup is good from Ives Sazon.
That's his first basket of the game.
Bilis ng habol ng Bataan, ha? trailing by 6 to begin the second quarter. It's down to 1. And they get a stop. Gapawan, great pass. Baguio able to recover and lay it up and in. Just like that, lamang na agad ang Bataan with that 7-0 run.
No lead is safe when you're going up against a team as talented as the Bataan Risers. They certainly have the personnel to chop away at any advantage. And Dante Baguio is the guy at the forefront of that attack right now para sa Bataan. 2 straight baskets para sa kanyang pagpasok.
Forcing the hand of Pasig will return after this timeout. Ito nga, no, binanggit natin si Dante Baguio na maganda yung pinakita noong laban nila sa Marikina. Came in only averaging 2 points per contest but scored, like we said, all 14 of his points in the payoff period. Ngayon, kasalukuyang may 5 puntos lahat galing dito sa second quarter. Kaya naman lamang na ngayon ang One Bataan Risers 20-19 until that free by Chito Jaime as Pasig City retakes the lead.
You know, despite Chito Jaime struggling in their last game, Pasig City was very much in that game against the Binyanta Takjel. He was 3 out of 10 from the field, 1 out of 6 from three-point country. And a lot of those attempts were actually open looks para sa kanya. And he still had to play a lot of time in that game. He played 27 minutes para sa Pasig City.
Another basket by Ves Sazon. Tabla tayo muli, 22 all. The pass by Manalang, open free by Chito Jaime, too strong. Rebound by Jamil Gabawan. 2 minutes gone by here in the second period. Baguio thought about it. Almost drag his pivot foot. Kani will reset their offense. 9 on their shot clock. Hubert inside, pocket pass to Kapulong, who got fouled by Keith Pido.
One guy who I'm sure is very happy with the acquisition of Hubert Kani this season para sa Bataan is Coach Ogie Gumatay. Kani is a master of the two-man game. You see the way that he's able to manipulate the defense whenever there's a screen and roll opportunity or pick and pop situations, which Coach Ogie Gumatay was also very good at during his playing days.
So the numbers here for JL Kapulong, 52% at the line this season, knocking down the first free throw. And the second free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Sablay yung pangalawa. Pero lamang ulit ang Bataan, 23-22. Keith Pido, naghahanap ng papasahan, napunta kay Chito Jaime sa bandang itaas. Lalapit si Chito. Left it short. Bataan clamping down on defense to begin the quarter. Sazon backing down Christian Rivera. Ilabas papunta kay JL. Back to Ives. Now pulls up. Automatic from that range.
I don't think really much you can do if you're Christian Rivera. You had your hand up practically already in his face. But Sazon just needing a little bit of opening for him to get the shot off.
Bataan naka 2-3 zone. Batak fires a pass. Rivera could not hit the three from the right corner, but Montuano was there for the stick back plus a foul.
That's always going to be a good ploy against a team that doesn't really shoot well from the outside. Pasig City has not really shown good percentage from beyond the arc this year, but whenever you're going to play a zone, you have to make sure you have to finish it with a rebound. And that time, Montuano outsmarting the Bataan defense, grabbing that offensive rebound, and getting 3 points the old-fashioned way.
Pasig came into this game shooting only 25.3% from beyond the arc. At masusubukan muli yan laban sa Bataan. 25 all ang ating talaan. Kapulong trying to locate Jamil Gabawan. It ends up with Dante Pagyo who sinks in another free.
And that was well challenged.
Oo nga. Babawi ba si Montuano? Left it short.
Not a good possession para sa Pasig City to try and answer back that shot of Dante Pagyo. First of all, only 2 people touched the basketball and it was very early in their shot clock.
Si Kani naman ang bumuslo ng 3. At hihiling na naman ng timeout si Coach Aldrin Morante because Pasig City with a slow start in this quarter while Bataan firing on all cylinders.
It's always going to be very tough when you have guys like these shooting from the outside. Dante Pagyo, that was well challenged. But this one is an even tougher cover. A guy who can pass and can also at the same time shoot the basketball. Di mo alam kung anong gagawin mo laban kay Hubert Cani.
6-point lead for Bataan, 31-25. Special deal from OneXBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. At nandito pa rin po tayo sa Inaris Center in Montalban, Rizal. Sisilipin natin yung next 3 games ng Pasig City. May 20 kontra Parañaque, on the 26 against the Batangas City Tonduay Masters. And on June 2, they will go up against the Quezon City Galleries Taipan. Right now they're facing against the One Bataan Risers, who's had a huge second quarter so far. Rocky Asidre, short. Try to get the ball back. Teka lang, may foul ba? O mananatili lang ang bola sa Pasig, yeah? It stays with the guys in blue. This is Asidre, now taking that free. As ball hitting over the backboard, bola babalik sa panig ng Bataan.
2 opportunities there para kay Rocky Asidre, but he muffed both chances almost from the same area of the floor.
Right now, Bataan is outscoring Pasig City by 12, 18-6.
So their outside shooting has been clicking here in the second period, courtesy of that guy and Hubert Cani. So he's not only doing it from beyond the arc, but he's doing it even inside the paint.
10 puntos lahat galing dito sa second quarter para dito kay Dante Pagyo, who has yet to miss from the field.
He's had these kinds of games before, you know, being able to score this much. One thing I think that he's reminded us of is that he is a quick bucket. Ito si Dante Pagyo.
As well as Mark Montuano, although he can convert underneath. Extra pass by Manalang to Asidre. Patuloy na sumasablay sa labas.
3 straight misses for Rocky Asidre.
Hubert Cani trying to blow past Mark Montuano, but he was held by Mark.
Cani always knows a mismatch when he sees one, recognizing that it was Montuano meeting him near the perimeter, decided to go on the drive. He's asking for free throws here.
Mitchell Mines coming in for the first time for the One Bataan Risers. He will replace Ives Sazon. It's actually a big lineup right now for Bataan. Chris Xavier, Jamil Gabawan, Dante Pagyo, Mitchell Mines, and Hubert Cani. Chogi Gumatay leading Bataan in this ball game again. Malaking lineup to for Bataan. Hubert Cani at that point guard spot, 5'11". Tapos bunch of 6'2 guys pataas. Very interesting if Coach Aldrin will counter, as I think they're still reviewing the last play here. Oh, kung may free throw, so wala. Yun nga. Nabiyayaan si Hubert Cani ng dalawang free throws. Masyadong reklamo, although di rin naman maganda yung demeanor doon ni Coach Aldrin.
Obviously, he's not happy with the way his team's been shooting the basketball at this point.
LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
The field goal percentage of Pasig City has dropped down to 27%, while Bataan has been able to shoot at a 51% clip.
Sidre whips a pass to Robbie Manalang. Back to Rocky. Bounce pass to Christian Rivera. He attacks. Mark Montuano is sweet spot but left it short again. Agawan ng bola, mapupunta kay Dante Pagio.
This zone has really worked for Bataan here in the second quarter. Pasig City has seen some open looks, but they haven't been able to connect.
Minus in and out dribble against Jacob Galicia. The rebound by Mark Montuano. Under 4 minutes remaining, Pasig only has managed to score 6 points. And the drought continues.
A number of Pasig City's attempts have been jump shots here in the second quarter.
Cani sa loob, the floater will drop.
While Bataan has managed to get inside the shaded area, Dante Pagio, Hubert Cani, both of them actually not just inside but have also been sniping from beyond the arc.
Christian Rivera. Pinasa kay Rocky Sidre, who finally buries a free.
That's why you could understand the emotion given off by Rocky Sidre after that made basket. He's missed a ton of looks, most of them open shots before that make.
Chris Javier dumps it inside. Jamil Gabawan off the window.
This duo in the front court for Bataan, when playing well, very tough to stop. Chris Javier and Jamil Gabawan.
10-point lead. Rivera lobs it up inside. Galicia trying to power up. But Javier standing his ground. Bounce pass, Jamil Gabawan. Again, getting the layup to go.
Slight Gortat screen set by Chris Javier doing the early work. And Cani recognizing the trailing Jamil Gabawan, giving it up right away.
Bataan up by a dozen. Manalang lets his defender fly by, pulls up off the heel, rebound Montuano. Asidre steps back, launches, no. Ball ends up with Bataan.
I think this zone has also given Rocky Asidre twice to think about on his shot, but what about Mitchell Maynes? Didn't play at all against Marikina in their last game. Subbed in here at this point of the second quarter, showing his athleticism on that made basket.
Lumobo na sa 14 puntos ang lamang. Mark Montuano, wala pa din. Hirap na hirap makapuntos ang Pasig in this quarter. Cani, the crossover. Now pulls up. Masyadong malakas. Rivera. Pinasa kay Rocky Asidre. Nahanap si Manalang sa taas. Rivera. Now it's Rocky for three. No. Kita mo, no? Walang flow sa opensa nitong Pasig. They're trying to shoot the gaps.
That's what Bataan's baiting them to do with this kind of zone that they've been playing.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Pinoy step, La Union step. Galing dito kay Mitchell Maynes.
What Bataan's been doing is precisely that, to really cut whatever flow that Pasig City would want to have offensively. They're giving them open looks, but these open looks have given Pasig City twice to think about on their shots, kasi parang gusto isipin ng Bataan ng Pasig City is, wow, libre ako, pero bakit ako libre bigla? Kaya parang wala masyadong kumpiyansa dun sa mga tira nila, and that's why they missed most of these open looks.
Coach Aldrin though, inserting etong si Jay Gars, trying to bust that zone. Although he has really struggled here Now he fires from free, left it short. 32 seconds remaining. Bataan putting on a clinic, especially on the defensive end. Dom Vera drills in a free. Bataan pouring it on here in quarter number 2.
Three-pointer number 5 for Bataan in this game.
Bataan has 32 points here in the second period compared to only 9 for Pasig City. So they've outscored Pasig by 23 points in this quarter. 32-9. What about that for the One Bataan Risers? 4.8 seconds to go here. Garcia, much needed basket. A three-pointer to end the second period.
Well, that's what he's there for, Jerome Garcia. Make baskets, especially from beyond the arc. Another unselfish play coming from Christian Rivera. You won't expect him to really take it all the way most of the time, making his third assist of the game for Garcia's first basket.
And as a result, Pasig City trailing here by 14 points at the half. But Dante Baguio, a huge reason why lamang ang Bataan dito.
14 points in their last game, 5 out of 9 from the field. Dito sa laro na to, hindi pa nagmimintis. 2 out of 2 from the outside, 4 out of 4 overall. And the difference with this game is he came in early. This is not anymore garbage time. He's showing that he can also perform at significant times para sa Bataan Risers.
Our halftime score, 45-31 Bataan over Pasig City.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoyas. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way off and goes down again. Straight left land for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching bell. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
and a half. Bataan with a 14-point lead over Pasig City, 45-31. Muli po Ken Pangalinan with Javi Palanyan. At courtside, we have Miss Lyra Punsalan. And nakita natin na 5-0 start for Bataan. Nakahabol ang Pasig. In fact, they ended the first quarter with a 6-point lead, 19-13. But Bataan was able to outscore Pasig in the second period by 20 points, 32-12.
It was really that second quarter that made the difference in this game. Pasig City was really on a good groove, especially those guys from the bench really helping them establish that 6-point lead. Galicia, Kilatan, those couple of guys as well working with Mark Montuano to help Pasig City establish the advantage. But in the second quarter, Dante Pagio, Hubert Cani, both connecting from the outside, able to get inside the lane and score inside the paint, helped Bataan to this big advantage, and it was very infectious on their other teammates. The flow of the offense which Pasig wanted for themselves was visibly evident on the side of the Bataan Risers when they made 15 assists and they had 54% from the field. Mas konti man lang yung attempts sila, but they were very efficient, 54% compared to Pasig's 25%. And the fast break points greatly on the side of Bataan in this game, 11-6.
Nakita nyo yung leading scorers para sa magkabilang kupunan. Actually, for Bataan, you saw all of those guys in the top 4 in scoring all came off the bench. So yung second unit, especially in that second quarter, yun yung naging difference para dito sa Bataan. So let's see if Pasig City could climb back from this 14-point deficit as they field in a different lineup to begin quarter number 3. Jamil Gabawan off the pass from Hubert Cani. Nilabas niya muna kay Dante Pagio. Balik kay Jamil. Laban kay Mark Montuano. Great cut by Dante Pagio, but Jaime able to recover. Baseline drive by Dom Vera. Inside, JL Capulong. The basket plus a foul for JL.
There were a couple of times wherein Bataan could have gone for the shot, but they didn't. They stayed patient. Vera could have went up for a shot of his own on that left corner, but decided to put the ball on the deck, looking for the better opportunity, and that was JL Capulong cutting through the middle, finishing with that left hand.
Badly missing the free throw though. 1 out of 3 so far tonight. His team up by 16. Bounce pass. Chito Jaime, no hesitation. Short, gets it back. Banks it in. And a free throw to boot for Chito Jaime.
Pasig City needs to get Chito Jaime going offensively. When he starts knocking down shots, it might loosen up this zone a bit for Bataan, or might even force them to veer away from that kind of defense and get into a man-to-man. I think that's a better coverage Pasig City can work against.
May report para sa atin si Miss Lyra Punsalan.
Veteran forward Chito Jaime is back in action for Pasig City after recovering from a recent illness, and he's bringing his trademark grit and fire straight to the court. Kahit galing sa sakit, hindi pwedeng magpahuli. Laro pa rin, trabaho pa rin, Jaime said with quite determination. But today, matchup carries a little more weight for the seasoned bowler. Taga-Bataan ako kaya goal talaga ay talunin ng Bataan, he said with a grin, showing both pride and a competitor's edge. For Chito, it's not just about bouncing back, it's about showing heart for his current team while proving something against his hometown squad. With players like him suiting up with purpose, Pasig's fight tonight just got a little more personal. Back to you guys.
Oh man, how could I forget? This guy is from Balanga, Bataan. Ito si Chito Jaime. And he actually, he played one season for the Bataan Risers back in season 3. Ito si Papa Cheats. And alam mo, binabanggit natin, as we like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Nag-champion na siya in college, nag-champion na rin siya in the PBA. Pero isa na lang yung kulang sa kanyang koleksyon, which is the MPBL title. And he had his chances, had 3 finals appearances here in the MPBL. But certainly, medyo mahirap, given that yung situation ngayon ng Pasig City. But like we said, chip on his shoulder playing against his home province in the Bataan Risers.
He really has to get going here, especially in this third quarter. I think very crucial that Pasig City avoids getting into a deep hole in this period.
Hubert Cani Try to beat the shot clock. 48-33 ang ating score. Robbie Manalang skips in and floats one up and putting in that basket to bring the lead back down to 13, 48-35.
The immediate goal for Pasig City here in the third quarter is really to up their clip from the field. Only shooting at a very lowly 25% in the first half. They have to have that number rise up to at least 35 to 40 here in the third quarter.
And karamihan sa mga supply nila was coming off that second quarter where they had trouble dealing with this 2-3 zone nitong Bataan.
Marami dun, Ken, open looks, pero gaya ng in-explain ko kanina, it was open looks that had you confused. Bakit bigla akong open?
Yeah.
Kaya nagdalawang isip bigla itong Pasig City dun sa mga tinira nila. That's why there wasn't a lot of confidence in those shots that they took, those open looks that the zone of Bataan forced them to take, particularly in that second quarter.
Chito Jaime. Oh, fishing expedition yung nangyari.
I thought that should have been a travel. They're gonna give that call to Chito Jaime. Welcome opportunity for them to further cut away at this lead.
Papa Cheats averaging in double figures, 11.1 points. One of the OG players dito sa MPBL, made the finals in the inaugural season when he played for Muntinlupa. Also had final stints with Zamboanga and Bacoor. He gets it back. Masyadong malakas nga lang yung tira niya sa labas. Jay Gars, ito hindi mag-hesitate to pero nagbintis yung kanyang tira. But Lester Reyes corralling the miss. And he took to the line for 2 shots.
You'd always love to have a player like Lester Reyes in your roster. Somebody who's been so hardworking, anchors your defense, gives a lot of energy, and makes a lot of hustle plays when he's on the floor.
But he's struggling at the line here. 33.3% coming in to si Lester Reyes.
Ayun lang talaga, he's not really much of an offensive player. Ito si Lester Reyes.
Sabay pangalawa pero nakuha ni Mark Montuano. Garcia. Great extra pass. Robbie Manalang all net on that triple.
That's the right decision coming from Jerome Garcia. Yes, he could take that shot, but decided to give it to Robbie Manalang because he knows that it's important for Robbie Manalang to get going as well in this game.
Vera tries to answer. Getting nothing there. And smart play by Reyes. Bouncing it off the leg of JL Capulong.
Ayan mismo yung makukuha mo galing kay Lester Reyes. Aside from the things that I mentioned, it's smart plays like that because of the experience that he's had playing against talented big men here in the league.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. Girian sa ilalim. Offensive foul ang itatawag. Laban dito ay Lester Reyes. Actually, that was an illegal screen off the ball.
He decked Dom Vera on that right baseline.
Xavier comes in for JL Capulong. Lester Reyes picking up another foul. Atake sa loob ang Bataan. Fight for the ball. And Chito Jaime. And Yambing was last touch on that one. Pasig City, despite their struggles, they're only down by 9 from a high of 17 points. Robbie Manalang laban kay Robbie Darang. Hot blitz. Ganda nung extra feed ni Mark Montuano papunta kay Lester Reyes.
Mark Montuano's passing very underrated in this league. He's known as a good scorer, especially on the block. Known to have that outside shot, also that occasional three. But he could also dish off that rock.
Matulis yung tira ni Chris Xavier. One and done by Bataan. Guys in blue with the momentum. Manalang, long two-pointer is good. Pasig City threatening to come back in this ball game.
This is a 12-3 run right here, opening the third quarter para sa Pasig City.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Pasig coming alive in the third. They're only down by 5, 48-43. Our fan outfit of the game, atid sa atin yan ng LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Glad to join you here on a Wednesday evening. Ken Pangilinan with Javi Palanya and Lyra Punsalan. And nandito po tayo sa Inares Center in Montalban for the fourth time this season. Rizal will try to go for their third straight win. They will take on Val City in our main game. Right now, dumikit na yung laban natin. Kanina, abante ang Bataan ng 17 puntos na ibaba ng Pasig. This is a 5-point ball game as Pasig gets a stop. Manalang against Narang. Slides in, sidestep 3, no good. Lester Reyes again. Battle for the ball. Napunta ay Montuano. Manalang will reset their offense. 9 seconds on their shot clock. Montuano, short stab. Good!
There could have been a foul there. Montuano, I think, was hit on the way down. Coach Aldrin Morante was asking for a whistle, but none was blown. But still, Bataan was able to answer. That was an important possession para sa kanila. Missed coverage for Pasig City.
Lead back to 5, 50-45. Manalang. Rescreen by Reyes. Robbie Manalang has found the stroke here in the third period.
He's been the hot hand for Pasig City. 12 points now in this game for the former Adamson Falcon.
Yung cut na naman, Jamil Gapawan lays it up and in.
There have been a lot of ball watching cases para sa Pasig City on that possession. That two-man game has been haunting the blue shirts.
52-47. Pet play din yan ng Bataan. Hindi ka nang pumasok. But luckily for Pasig City, Jagars able to corral the miss. Got fouled. We check out this play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet.
Si Montuano was there, kind of staggering, waiting to rotate with the help, but did not cover Jamil Gabaon, did not even bother to bump him as he was cutting through the middle.
Garcia, who hit a free to end the second period. Supply muli doon. Darang at the post, the cut again by Gabawan. This time, read well by Pasig City.
Kitang-kita naman doon, and there was certainly a man on the cutter that time.
Manalang, leaving Darang in the dust. But can't hit the free. Ball will stay with Pasig City. Chito Jaime umihiling ng foul doon. May challenge tayo, no? Galing sa One Bataan Risers. Walang tinawag na foul, so this is gonna be a challenge on that last out-of-bounds play. Bataan with a 5-point lead, 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. We'll return after the short break as we await the result of the challenge.
The challenge of One Bataan Risers Kamayo Coast was successful.
Successful challenge from Coach Ogie Gumatay. It was off the miss.
Good call. Sharp eye as well from Coach Ogie Gumatay. Seeing that it was Chito Jaime who had last touch instead of Eves Sazon na unang nakita doon ng ating mga referees.
So Bataan will get the possession back. Still up by 5. Mitchell Minus fielded in by Coach Ogie. Oh, the flyby, the extra pass, but Minus met by Mark Montuano. Under 3 minutes to go here in the third. Jaime, short on the three-point attempt. They swing the ball around. It ends up with Jay Gars. Left corner triple off the side of the backboard. Mitchell Minus, easy pickings on the other side.
Nice possession by Pasig City. Just a bad miss by Jerome Garcia. It just gets you demoralized after those kinds of misses. When you move that ball like that and you get it to the best possible opportunity, the defense goes slow going back down and it gives a fast break opportunity for the Risers.
Montuano gives them another possession. Manalang, under 2 minutes remaining. Garcia, another open free. Finally, buries in that shot from the outside.
He's not going to see a shot that he doesn't like, especially if it's open. The nice thing about Jay Garcia in this game is no matter how much he's missed, he's still not afraid to go for those baskets.
56-50. Darang receives the pass from Javier. Robbie trying to navigate. Octobre rises and knocks down a three of his own.
Given space there by Mark Montuano, a little bit lazy for Montuano trying to close out on Octobre there. You forget that Octobre is a tall guy who doesn't really need a lot of space to launch it.
67 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Manalang can't answer. Rebound by Rafi Octobre. 7-point lead for Bataan, 57-50. Darang will set the play for Bataan. Jaime gives up that foul.
That's a foul to give para sa Pasig City, but I'm surprised they gave it this early. I think they didn't really like the matchups that they were seeing defensively.
Fast Player of the Game brought to you by Extreme X Play. On the go speaker, take your music anywhere.
Mitchell Minus had Robbie Manalang on him. I think that's the primary reason why Chito Jaime gave up that foul, so they can regroup defensively here, go back to their original matchups.
Darang was actually bumped by his own teammate. Sazon though, unable to capitalize. Sa kaguluhan doon. Pasig City may pagkakataon, about a 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Manalang has had a good third quarter so far. Chito Jaime hits in a free. Lead down to 4. Time winding down here in the third period. Crossover by Manalang. Gets past Manalang. That was Darang. Able to score to beat the buzzer for Bataan.
Spectacular plays from both sides to end that third quarter. I thought Mitchell Minus made a big gamble by allowing Chito Jaime to find an open opportunity on that right side. Pero ang ganda nung naging sagot ni Robbie Darang. Stop and go, hesitation all the way to the rack.
Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. But Bataan, after erecting a 17-point lead in the first half, here comes Pasig City. Robbie Manalang leading the charge as they try to snap a 5-game losing streak. But they're still trailing here as we head into the fourth quarter. Bataan with a 6-point lead, 59-53. Special deal from MonexBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. And we're just about to start the fourth quarter between Pasig City and Bataan. The One Bataan Risers trying to even out their record at 6-6. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. Samantalang Pasig City naipanalo yung first 2 games. Pero ito, ang kaabang-abang na labanan between Nueva Ecija and San Juan. They have developed a rivalry, especially in the last 4 years. Both of them undefeated. Maghaharap sila on Saturday in Palayan City at the Nueva Ecija Coliseum. Kaya, ayun, abangan nyo po. Just 4 days away. As we see Robbie Darang trying to score to begin the fourth. Nakuha ni Chris Javier yung bola, yung quarter scoring natin. No? Nakita natin that huge second quarter for Bataan after they got outscored by 6 by Pasig City in the first quarter. Pero nakabawi ang Pasig in the third quarter. Plus 8, 22-14. And that's why this lead down to 6 from a high of 17 points. Chito Jaime, same spot, same result. Another free for Papa Cheats.
That right side of the basket para kay Chito Jaime has been his hot spot in this game. Started off cold just like in the last game, but unlike that game against Binyan, he has managed to bounce back and up his percentage from the field sa laro na to.
Mitchell Minus trying to escape, but got caught with a dribbling violation.
Nice matchup defensively there given by Jacob Galicia, and the help coming from Lester Reyes forcing that turnover.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Alam mo, ang hihirap ng mga tira na binitawan dito ni Chito Jaime the last 2 times out.
Yeah.
But he has magically been able to make them. Not that it's a surprise to us, but it still continues to wow us, definitely.
And he and Robbie Manalang had spearheaded the charge here in the second half for Pasig City. Robbie Darang, that was a gorgeous move. Strong drive to the basket for the former Diliman College Blue Dragon.
Ito maganda dyan. He started it off with that screen by Chris Javier. He turns the corner. That's going to his right side, by the way. Robbie Darang is a lefty, and he finishes with that right hand. Beautiful move.
It's a great move in the game, born for greatness.
It's not always that quickness, that one side of quickness, but it's more of how you use it with that quick burst, that stop and go na sinasabi ng mga coaches. That hesitation, that brings the defense off guard most of the time, especially when you're as explosive as Robbie Darang.
62-56, Christian Rivera coming back in, using his left hand. Montuano with another offensive rebound, but got foiled there by Rafi Octobre. Galicia almost getting it back. Actually, he does.
Yeah, that was off Minus.
Did not come away with a steal, but instead, last touch doon si Mitchell Minus.
It hasn't been a very good game para kay Mitchell Minus.
Actually, nag-struggle na rin siya, no? In their last few games, playing lesser minutes, giving opportunity to guys like Dante Pagyo. Meanwhile, how about this guy? Waxing hot here in the second half, Chito Jaime.
Well, you know, it's good that Chito Jaime is hot right now from the field, giving us some heat in this very cold venue.
Rafi Octobre, hand off to Ives Sazon, who's been struggling so far in this game. Not a lot of shots for Ives. Crossover, Robbie Darang. Back out to Jeff Santos. Off the mark. Ball will stay with Bataan.
3-point shots have come plenty for Bataan in that first half. They had 5, definitely more compared to Pasig City, but here in the second half, it's been that guy single-handedly delivering those outside shots para sa Pasig City.
Sazon. Binigay sa loob. Nilabas nila ulit. Kay Xavier sa ilalim. Mark Montuano with a hard fall after he bit on that fake
Well, Chris Xavier making the right decision to stay composed underneath, staying low there, and not panicking despite seeing many blue shirts inside the shaded area. Nagkaroon lang ng maling timing doon si Mark Montuano sa pagtalon. Good thing he wasn't badly hurt.
Very good on the first. One of the off-season acquisitions for Bataan along with Hubert Cani. Bataan trying to move up to 6 wins, 6 losses. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 5-point lead again for Bataan. Pasig City threatening but haven't been able to tie it or take the lead here in the second half. Chito Jaime again under the wrist, that time a miss. Babawan with the rebound. 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Nalibre ng bagya si Vesazon. The rebound by Montuano. Rivera drives right, no good, but the putback is there for Jacob Galicia. Tatakbo si Robbie Darang, nasundutan ni Jacob Galicia, but ran out of real estate. Bola mananatili sa panig ng Bataan.
And if I'm Coach Alden Morante, I'm very happy with that effort shown by Galicia. Siya na yung nakaputback kanina, siya pa ang nakahabol kay Robbie Darang. And it's very tough to try and keep it step with Robbie Darang that's already in full head of steam.
Jeff Santos to trigger it in from the baseline. Dante Baguio, pumasok ulit sa loob. Floats one up and in.
This guy just doesn't need any kind of warm-up. He's ready the moment he steps on the floor.
5-point lead, 66-61. Rivera. Kick out, Montuano, short stab. Doesn't get the roll. Foul against Bataan. Just the first team foul though against the Risers. Rob Manalang checking back in for Chito Jaime. Approaching the 6-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Rivera try to force the pass inside. Montuano in trouble. Naagawan siya ni Chris Xavier. Darang will set the table for Bataan. The pass inside. Jamil Gabawan. Not much resistance on the side of Pasig City.
Numerous times in this game, Pasig City has had trouble fighting that two-man game of the Bataan Risers, especially when there's a roller or a cutter going through that middle side.
Foul given up again by Bataan. As we now check the play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And Robbie Darang has been a master of delivering those finds. Earlier in the first half, it was Hubert Cani. Dito sa second half, Robbie Darang doing a wonderful job of finding the open man on those rolls and cuts.
Christian Rivera trying to escape the defense of Gabawan. Time winding down on their shot clock, but Jay Gars able to bail them out.
Garcia 8 points in this game, although he's missed a lot of open looks, has managed to bail them out in a lot of situations in this game.
68-63 Bataan. Jeff Santos traveled.
Nice adjustment for Pasig City after letting go of another easy look para sa Bataan on that previous play when Robbie Darang found the cutter on the roll, which was Jamil Gabawan. This time they were able to adjust when Jeff Santos tried to turn the corner on them.
Past the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Garcia lets his defender fly by but can't convert on that free.
Thought he was hit. He was asking for a foul.
Darang laban kay Manalang. Two Robbies going at it. Javier. Backdoor not available, so pinalik niya kay Robbie Darang, who gets past his defenders for another right-handed finish.
I think he's finished more with the right hand in this game than the left.
Jerome tries to answer, he does.
These baskets have been happening while Chito Jaime is on the bench para sa Pasig City, doing a good job of keeping his team in the game. Talking about Jerome Garcia.
Oh, how about the reply from Robbie Darang?
This young man has been blossoming into one of the top point guards here in the league.
Rivera out of control on that drive. 7-point lead for Bataan. Darang crossing the timeline, tightly guarded by Robbie Manalang. The switch by Galicia, trying to keep in step with Robbie. Darang putting the ball on the deck, steps back, three-pointer again! Oh my goodness! How about Robbie Darang with 15 points? Back-to-back threes for Robbie Darang.
Didn't really have a lot of impact scoring-wise in the first half, but here in the second half, he has done it all. Attacking the basket as well as knocking down threes, aside from the fact, of course, that he's been orchestrating beautifully para sa Bataan.
As he extends this lead to 10 points, 76-66. Check out our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. And greatness personified by Robbie Darang in this quarter, back-to-back threes. Just when you thought that Pasig City was beginning to threaten here, Robbie Darang piloting Bataan to this 10-point lead, 76-66 with 3 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter.
It's been killing the morale of Pasig City, who's been trying to keep it step with Bataan in this game, and they managed to do it with shots like that. But of course, defensively, when you have a guy like Robbie Darang just pulling you apart, and it's from passing, it's from scoring, whatever he's been doing for Bataan has been working for the Risers.
Jerome Garcia with that response, and now the steal. Jerome Garcia with 16 points. Personal 5-0 run to cut this lead down to 5 as well.
You love the conversion by Jerome Garcia and the 5 straight points, but Ken, you have to give a lot of credit to Robbie Manalang for making that play happen para sa Pasig City.
We'll pause for a break. We'll be back after this. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan that QR code and claim your special offer. Jerome Garcia coming into this game only averaging 2.4 points, shooting a dismal 19.4% from the field, but coming alive here with 16 points and those booming threes. But you see that defense by Manalang setting up ito si Jerome Garcia, na alam naman natin, Javi, hirap na hirap sa kanyang opensa so far. Pero nakita mo, no? 10 of those coming in this quarter for J-Gars.
You can count him out because of his percentage that certainly dipped, and he hasn't really been playing at a very consistent rate for Pasig City under Coach Aldrin Morante this year. But when a guy is given the opportunity to step on the court and given the liberty to shoot, pretty hard to stop a guy that's on the groove like Jerome Garcia.
We have a challenge here by Pasig City after a foul was whistled against them. Crucial call with 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back for the result of this challenge.
The challenge of Pasig City was unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful challenge by Pasig. So the call stands. This was a drive by Jamil Gabawan. Clearly. Tama ba?
Naku, parang mali yata yung ginawa ni Jerome Garcia doon.
Ano masabi sa'yo?
Sabi niya, pahawak para makashoot pa. Usually, pag hinahawakan yung kamay ko, pagkatapos nun, wala nang ma-shoot eh.
Seryoso ba?
Sino ba yung huling gumawa sa akin nun? Naalala ko, may gumawa sa akin nun eh. Nung buong game, di na makashoot eh. Kasi simula pa lang, kinamayan na ako agad eh.
Let's see if the Javi Palanya curse continues here. Pero,
Jerome, huwag ka sana magalit sa akin.
but that does not take away from this inspiring performance by Jerome Garcia. At sasamaan pa yan ng tres ni Robbie Manalang.
Tama sila doon, yung Pasig City. Di muna nila binigay kay J-Cars. Pahumpain muna nila yung pagkamay ni J-Cars sa akin. Robbie Manalang hitting a big shot again for Pasig City.
Dante Pagio with the answer. These two teams going back and forth.
I'm sure these past two games, Coach Ogie Gumatay has thought a lot about the way that he's going to use Dante Pagio moving forward at this season.
Last 2 minutes of the ball game. Chito Jaime with 18 points.
Loving the back and forth here. This is exactly what we came to see.
And we kind of expected this game to go down the wire. You know, considering how Pasig performed against Binyan despite 5 straight losses. Jaime, great closeout by Darang. Nilabas niya muna, papunta kay Robbie Manalang. Has the speed advantage over Gabawan. The switch by Pagio. Manalang. Skip pass. Montuano for free. No!
That wasn't a very good shot. Montuano, I think, still had time on the clock to maybe put the ball on the deck, maybe get a better pass for a better opportunity. They rushed that one.
57 seconds remaining. No need to foul if you're Pasig City. Gabawan lost the handle. Pasig with a chance. Manalang will settle things down for Pasig City. Montuano, balik kay Robbie Manalang. 8 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Robbie trying to turn the corner. Forces up a free. Oh, banks it in! Robbie Manalang under the rest. Able to will that one through.
My goodness! I was gonna say, nasa isip ko na kin yung sasabihin ko. I was gonna say, what a terrible take by Robbie Manalang. But it's never gonna be terrible if you make the basket. Well defended there by the Bataan Risers. But Manalang still making it off the back.
Sason! Jamil! Santo! Okay? Javier! Okay? Sa maganda lang, ha? Backdoor, pag meron, okay na, pero pag hindi, wag. Ito tayo, kay Ibes. Ha? Kay Ibes. Nag-open si Ibes. Dito ka na. Jamil, get open, okay? Sa maganda. Tawag dito. Pagyo. Sason. Okay? Chris. Jamil. Isa-side natin yan. Okay? Sa side natin. Execute natin. Hindi mo landok. Screen. Atakin mo. Tingnan natin ang player screen si ano. Si Rabi.
Ilang seconds, ma'am? Ilang seconds?
Atakin natin. 24 yun.
Pasig City tying things up here. And Bataan burning their final timeout. About a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. And interesting that the Risers opting to inbound the basketball all the way to the backcourt. Pasig City, may isa pang timeout. Oh my goodness, the three-point shooting of Pasig City. 42 attempts from deep, converting on 13 of them.
10 3-pointers here in the second half, and they only had 3 conversions from the outside in the first 2 quarters.
Baguio met by Montuano. Someone's open. It's Ives Sazon. Now he gets the basketball, sidesteps into a free. Short. Gets it back though. Inside Baguio. No. 2 seconds remaining. Jagars. And we are going into overtime. What a wild sequence. Pasig City getting the stop it needs.
Well, I was gonna say that Pasig City could have gone for a foul. They had fouls to give, only with 3 team fouls. But Bataan, they got off a couple of good looks. Sazon had some opportunities there on that left side. Baguio was able to get a shot near the basket and another opportunity from beyond the arc. But that first shot was well defended. He got it back. Kaya lang, that second shot was already out of time. The Bataan Risers just coming up empty in that possession. Pasig City certainly having the momentum here as we enter the extra period, Ken.
End of regulation, we are tied 80 apiece. Check out how Pasig was able to come back. The plethora of threes. Chito Jaime, Jerome Garcia, and Robbie Manalang combining forces here in the second half, Abby.
Chito Jaime only had 1 make from the outside in the first half. Jerome Garcia also had 1. That was to end the first half. But both of them combining for a number of outside shots, particularly in that moment, bridging the third and fourth quarters. Those important shots by Jerome Garcia while Chito Jaime was resting on the bench was really a big factor in Pasig City coming back in this game and forcing an extra 5 minutes.
Pasig was down by as many as 17 points. And Robbie Manalang continues to sizzle, hitting a free to begin the overtime period.
You certainly can't take away from this guy's performance sa laro na to. We've been yapping about Jerome Garcia's sniping from the outside, Chito Jaime's as well. But hindi mo pwedeng ipagkaila kin the defense, the leadership, as well as the scoring para kay Robbie Manalang sa laro na to for Pasig City. They certainly missed him, and you still gotta think, what if he was in that game against Binyan?
Looks like there's a malfunction in our scoreboard. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back after these short messages.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way up and goes down is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching bell. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Alright, they've sorted things out here. Actually, a long two-pointer by Manalang, so it's just a 2-point lead for Pasig City to begin the extra period. Jeff Santos able to cut, able to draw a foul. Umiiling si Mark Montuano.
Because that's his fourth foul. And I'm sure he would do anything to get that one back.
Jeff Santos getting some minutes here in overtime.
He top scored for Bataan against Marikina, had 15 points. And he's had a string of consecutive nice games for the Risers recently.
Yeah.
Pero so far, only with 5 points sa laro na to.
Tabla ulit tayo, 82 all. Muntik nang makaagaw si Gabawan. Pasig City having trouble dealing with this pressure defense, but Manalang able to cross the timeline against Robbie Darang. These two guys going at it. Mano y mano. Robbie got blitz. Marlo Batak getting some burn here.
Yeah, that's a foul on Sazon. He was holding down Chito Jaime.
So free throws will be given. So Montuano will troop to the line. No, actually, di pa pala penalty.
Yeah,
Ang Bataan.
only Bataan's 13th foul coming from the fourth quarter. So the foul situation carries on over here in extra period. Kung ano yung team fouls mo pagkatapos ng fourth quarter, yun din dito sa overtime.
Bataan managing their fouls wisely. That's a bad pass. Batak, the heave.
Yeah, that's going to be a shot clock violation. Didn't touch the basket.
Did not hit the rim. Minute gone by here in overtime. By the way, Bataan just won in overtime on their home floor. The last time they were involved in an overtime game against Muntinlupa. It was this guy who hit that game-winning triple. Darang having trouble. Got blitz. 0.9 seconds on their shot clock.
Both teams forcing each other deep into their shot clocks.
Santos, catch and shoot situation. It's Ives Sazon. Shot clock violation. Laban naman dito sa Bataan. Actually, both of these teams have been involved in games that went into overtime. Remember, itong Pasig City lost against Davao Occidental in Calasiao. Turnovers, no? Nakita natin Bataan with 13. 7 lang para dito sa Pasig City foul. Given up. So 1-0 ang Bataan in overtime. 0-1 naman ang Pasig City. Marlo Batak. Jerome Garcia curiously not on the floor here in overtime. Manalang lets Darang fly by. That one rattles out. Rebound by Capulong. 3 minutes remaining here in the extra frame. Robbie Darang gets it to JL. Back to Robbie against Manalang. Bounce pass. Kapulong na agawan ni Warlo Batak in transition. Sidestep. Warlo doesn't get the bounce. And Manalang was ahead on that play.
Was it a very good take on kay Warlo Batak? I expected him to make an even more aggressive shot going into the basket. But I think he settled for something less. Aside from the fact that you just mentioned, Manalang was already ahead of him.
Bagsak si Robbie Darang after driving to the basket. Warlo Batak, that's his last foul. And Warlo Batak will exit with 4 points, 3 rebounds. Robbie Darang remains on the floor for Bataan. He's about to take 2 free throws. Let's see what happened here.
Again, Darang turning the corner and attacking that right side, which has been the area in which he has made a number of opportunities in this game. Remember, again, to many people who are watching that don't know Robbie Darang or who are watching him for the first time, this guy is a lefty. That he has developed that ability to finish on that right side, his offhand.
Double-double performance for Robbie Darang. 16 points, 11 assists. A split at the line. Bataan with a 1-point lead. Chito Jaime, binabantayan ni fellow Balanga native Jamil Gabawan. Manalang and Santos. Jaime with Gabawan all over him. Papa Cheats having trouble. Shot clock winding down, but got bailed out by that foul by Jamil Gabawan. Who could not believe that call.
Just a little bit too aggressive there. Ito si Jamil Gabawan. Would have been better off just allowing Jaime to go for a tough shot. He was all over. Too much in the grill of Chito Jaime that time. Masakit doon. I think 3 free throws ito. No, just 2 shots.
Short on the first one for Chito Jaime.
I think that should have been a shot attempt. That should have been 3 free throws. They're giving him 2 free throws here because penalty na dito ang Bataan.
Dito may 3-point shooting. Oh. Those 4 guys chipping in. Chito Jaime. We also got Jerome Garcia. Robbie Manalang. And also Rocky Asidre. All 4 of those combining for their freeze. Kapulong could not finish.
Just a tad bit. Kulang lang ng konti dun sa pectus.
Tabla pa rin po tayo. At may foul na nabingwit si Robbie Manalang as he drove to the basket. Kapulong will be called for his 4th foul. Robbie Manalang at the line. So far, this is his first trip at the charity stripe. Saw the free throw shooting numbers. Ooh. Manalang short. Chance here to take the lead. 19.7 assists. Robbie Manalang. Oh out of 2.
Usually a decent free throw shooter. He's shooting 75% from the free throw line this year. A lucky break here for Pasig City. Jeff Santos nawala ng espaso doon sa baseline.
Chito Jaime thought about it. Now draws closer, attacking the closeout. Another foul against Bataan.
That's going to go against Gabawan again, and that's going to be number 4 against Jamil. He was able to escape the defense of the smaller Besazon, and on the help side, this time rotating in the interior to stop Chito Jaime, Jamil Gabawan. I think he came a little bit too late. Dahil nakabuelo na si Chito Jaime.
Pero si Sason yung tinawagan pala ng foul. So Chito Jaime at the line.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought that there was some contact on that block by Jamil Gabawan.
Medyo mabibigat yung mga sablay nitong Pasig City at the line in this overtime period. Already 4 misses. 2 each from Jaime and Manalang. Jaime finally sinking in the second free throw. Labang ang Pasig City, 84-83, trying to snap their 5-game losing skid. Chris Javier, hand off, Ives Sazon, trying to break down the defense of Jagars. Ives forcing it, no good. Chris Javier, in trouble, nasundutan, Ives Sazon right there, wala pa din. 8 seconds on the shot of Bataan, pero nakuha yung bola ni Chito Jaime. Forward pass to Jagars. Galicia. Oh, that scramble for the basketball. A foul will be whistled against Jacob Galicia.
Wow, that basketball looking very slippery on both sides. Both teams having trouble trying to keep it within play. This was a good pass by Jerome Garcia. Had the right intention of getting it forward to Jacob Galicia because that could have been an easy bucket. But it was a bit high on the receive. At medyo nadulas pa sa kanya yung bola, which gave the opportunity for Bataan to try and contest for its possession. Visibly frustrated ito si Jacob Galicia.
Jamil Gabawan at the line, not really a good free throw shooter. Although he has 9 points and 9 rebounds. Sablay yung unang tira niya.
Both teams have been dismal from the charity stripe tonight. Pasig shooting 9 out of 20, Ken, while Bataan is 10 out of 17.
Big free throw here for Jamil. Doesn't get the bounce. Ball ends up with, they will review it, but initial call is Bataan basketball. 41 seconds remaining in the extra period.
Yeah, these misses could also stem from the fatigue that's been setting in para sa parehong koponan. They played a hell of a second half, these two teams.
Yeah, hard-fought game. These two squads in the North Division.
You see the way that each player has really tried to risk their lives in chasing for those loose balls in this game, especially here in overtime.
Crucial call here with 41 seconds to go. 84-83 for Pasig City. They were trailing by as many as 17 points back in the second quarter, but they have been able to climb back with those big threes from Jerome Garcia, Robbie Manalang, and Chito Jaime. And later on, again, Rizal will try to defend their home floor for the 4th time this season. They will take on Val City. And itong Bataan, no? Na alam naman natin, slow start to their season, 1-5, but have picked up 4 of their last 4 wins out of their last 5 games. They're facing off against a pretty determined Pasig City trying to end their own slump.
Aside from trying to end their slump in this game, Pasig City also trying to set themselves up for good momentum coming into their next 3 games. It's going to be a tough schedule ahead for these Pasig City players.
Bola mananatili sa panig ng Bataan after that review. The Pasig City will play Parañaque, Batangas, and Quezon City. While Bataan, their next 3 games against Ilagan, Isabela, Rizal, and Pasay. Ayan, mabibigat lahat yan for Bataan. Santos gets it to Robbie Darang. Guarded by Robbie Manalang. Trying to get past him. Catch and shoot. Chris Javier with a big basket.
Gutsy shot right there. Walang pag-aalinlangan. No hesitation at all. Galing kay Chris Javier. Darang trying to break down Manalang's defense. He was stopped in his tracks. Lester Reyes a little bit late on the closeout. Good timing for Chris Javier to make himself available, flashing on that middle near that free throw line and knocking down that big shot to give the Risers the lead.
Okay. Robbie, Chito. Chito to. Ikaw to, Teng. No. Si Jacob. Ikaw to. Teng. Okay? Chito to. Chito muna, ha? Rap, Chito. Okay, pag wala to. Ikaw to, Teng. Sapunin mo kay Rap. Tamaan mo siya na, tamaan siya. Tagal mo to, 40 seconds yan. Pag nabigay kay Rap.
Okay, magmadali 40 seconds. Tapos na, Mick.
Oo. Zero to.
Hey, 40 seconds yan, ha? 40 seconds, pare.
This game has featured 8 deadlocks, 8 lead changes. Most of them coming in the second half. Actually, the fourth quarter and overtime.
This can be a 2-for-1 for Pasig City, Ken.
Yeah. Isa lang ang timeout ng Bataan. Actually, each only have one timeout here in overtime. Wala nang timeout ng Pasig. Garcia having trouble. Gets it to Lester Reyes. Robbie Manalang attacks. Kick out pass. Jaime against 2 defenders. Getting that shot up and in. "23 points for Papa Cheats."
He has defied the defense numerous times in this game. Tough shot after tough shot. I thought Manalang would have been better off here trying to go inside into the basket, trying to sneak his way past that help defender. I thought he could have scooped a shot in on that left side, but still giving it to that deep corner kay Chito Jaime.
Jamil. Chris. Santos. Sase. Okay? Stagard. Okay? Bigay mo.
Pag wala, baba yung stagger.
Okay? Pag nakuha mo, nag-deny ka. Nandito pa si Sason. Okay?
Yung step limiter, baba nyo.
Pero huwag tayo magmamadali, guys. Pero okay lang. Pero huwag tayo magmadali. Last shot tayo. Okay? Ito po medyo
Mas pag
natin.
dito tayo, magpo-14 tayo ha. Pagka dito tayo sa side.
Doon na lang tayo. Para last shot na tayo. Doon na tayo.
Last shot sa pag-shoot natin.
Last shot lang. Rabi! Okay? Ibes! Jeff! Santos! Babawa! Okay? Backdoor! Get open! Wala! Rabi! Matapag tayo!
Sinong first screener?
Ikaw na! Jamil! Ikaw papapap! Dito ka, Ibes! Todo ball yan! Pero tingnan mo ha! Pag nagsigal ka pala sa atake tayo. Last shot tayo.
Looks like Bataan will inbound it all the way to the backcourt. So they're gunning, I think, for the last shot here, Javi.
Yes, that's the instruction of Coach Ogie Gumatay. Trying to use the full length of that 24-second shot clock that they have right now. And it looks like it's going to be a single-double setup. And they're hoping that Ives Sazon will be free on the staggered.
Here we go. Robbie Darang. It's Chris Javier who fires. Left it short. Battle for the ball. It ends up with Lester Reyes. Manalang.
They can foul.
8 seconds remaining. And Jay Gars got pushed.
I thought that was an early shot. Taliwas doon sa instruction ni Coach Ogie Gumatay to go for that last shot. I was quite surprised with that shot attempt, but I think Chris Javier was riding high on that confidence of making that shot earlier para sa Bataan.
Osmadi Encarnado now standing. Garcia, big free throws.
He has a chance to ice this game.
16 points easily. His best performance in the Pasig City uniform. All net on the first. For Bataan, they had the chance to foul Lester Reyes on that rebounding
Yun na nga
battle.
eh. Took them a while
Yeah.
to give up that personal foul.
To be fair, nagkaagulo rin after that miss. Oops. Wait.
You have to give it again.
Chris Javier, nasupalpal sa likod. Jerome Garcia with a stop to end the game and to end the 5-game losing streak of Pasig City.
Just really redeeming himself from that miss. Saving the game for Pasig City with that block. Coming from behind here to swap that shot out of Chris Javier's hands.
How about Jerome Garcia? He has battled with numerous injuries, had a long layoff. And we check out now our best player of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Javi, a lot of heroes, but ultimately, who did you choose for our best player?
Oh, we had numerous choices changing towards the latter part of the game, especially in overtime. We were picking between Robbie Manalang, Jerome Garcia, and Chito Jaime, but ultimately, especially after that corner pocket shot on the left side, we had to give it to Chito Jaime. 23 points, 7 rebounds for Chito Jaime.
And our final score in overtime, Pasig winning over Bataan 88-85. Let's go to Lyra.
Maraming salamat, Ken. Chito Jaime, you had 6 successful 3-point shot pero pinakamatindi talaga yung winning shot mo during the last seconds that led to an overtime. Ang daming pressure sa huling segundo pero ikaw composed pa rin. And I remember, sinabi mo sa akin sa pregame interview na tatalunin mo talaga ang Bataan kung saan ka nanggaling. How does it feel na you were able to sustain that energy at maipanalo ang Pasig?
Una-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord sa binigay niya panalo sa amin. Ayun nga, sabi ko nga, gustong-gusto kong talunin yung Bataan. Nothing personal, gusto ko lang na maipakita na I can play pa.
And of course, how does it feel that you were able to break the losing streak for Pasig City and taste the sweet result of victory?
Ayun, sobrang saya kasi 5 sunod na talo kami. Ngayon siguro babalik na yung kumpiyansa namin. Pero kailangan pa rin namin magtrabaho sa practice.
Hindi, may mga gusto ka pa bang pasalamatan, Chito?
Una-una, pasalamat ako kay Lord God sa panalo binigay sa amin. And gusto ko rin batiin si Boss Jason Sia ng Metro Muscle. And nagpapasalamat ako kay Boss Buddy Encarnado, sa wife ko, sa anak namin si Gianna, and si Mama Pe, si Bono, and si Tito Bats. And binabati ko rin yung mga kapatid ko, si Ate Christy, Kuya Jay, Kuya Chris, Ate Ayan, Kuya Jordan, Ate Karen, lahat ng pamangkin ko, and lahat ng mga taga Dinalupihang Bataan, lahat ng tropang RTC, kay Boss Joed, kay Boss Robert Kai, and sa lahat ng hindi ko nabati, binabati ko.
Maraming salamat, Chito Jaime of Pasig City. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Ken and Javi.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And Chito had a lot of help from Robbie Manalang and Jerome Garcia piloting Pasig City a win. But up next, Val City Magic will try to invade the home floor of the Rizal Centro Mall Golden Coolers. Kaya manatiling nakasubaybay dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.